Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Welcome back to my shop. This is going to be a more vlog style video than anything else because I haven't posted in a while and life has been kind of interesting. So I started the whole YouTube journey because I was invited to be on a show called Knife or Death, and I wanted to forge a sword for it. And they needed me to film myself doing some cutting exercises and, you know, if I'm making the sword, all of the process for filming the sword. And I thought, hey, if I'm going to film it, I might as well put it on YouTube. So that was my thought process. And then shortly thereafter, there was the whole, collaboration with John Switzer and the Hammer video. And it kind of started steamrolling. And my intentions were to start the whole YouTube process after this got built and got put to the point where, I wanted it and I'm ready to work with it. And things got kind of jumped ahead and a little bit rushed. So I have not been able to produce videos as much as I wanted to. So here's a little bit of an update. The tong making video is probably my oldest video, tongs with no tongs, and I have full intentions on completing that video. It will probably be one of the first ones that I complete after I get all of my other obligations done, to kind of talk about those other obligations that I have. And one of the things that I'm going to start with is this blade. This is a blade that I started on before I ever started the YouTube channel. And it was one that I basically put up a forged blade for auction, and the individual that wanted it, that won the auction, asked for a Seax. So this is a Viking Sax, and it is differentially tempered, made out of leaf spring. And I can tell you from filing the shoulders, this side is significantly harder than that side by a lot. So it should be a pretty tough blade, and it's got a nice thick spine. It's designed to be basically an all-around, I'm going to beat the crap out of it knife like most of the stuff that I do. But once this is put together, I have the handle and the guard. Goes that direction, so there's the handle, the guard goes here. It is going to be peened because that was the request, even though most C-axes are glued. But you'll be able to see the testing on that. I'm gonna do lots of things, chop 2x4s and cut probably fruit and or water bottles and basically try and abuse it a little bit. I don't think it's gonna break at all. So started that one before I ever filmed anything. So obviously nothing's been filmed on this one. And that's obligation number one. This right here is obligation number two. I helped create this sword a long while ago. It was a design that I worked in combination with a friend of mine. I made the pommel. So as you can see, I'm holding it like this because this is actually a sharp. Nice little rosebud pommel. And that's the guard. I forged the leaves on it. And then the friend actually put the rings and the leaves and the crossbar together. But when we made this, we were under a time constraint. And the blade I did not make. The blade is a Tinker Pierce sharp. And we were under a time constraint. And so the scabbard and the handle were not something that I was particularly proud of, and we didn't really have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot of shaping. So I am in process of carving out a new scabbard, which I will have a period baldric, so a proper baldric, proper scabbard. I'm going to put a chape on it and top, and I am actually filming that one. So you will see that video as it comes out. I'm also going to be reworking the handle a little bit. I'll probably do a leather wrap here, and then I want to do a wire wrap from about here down. Kind of do the transition from silver to black to silver again, because that was the idea that we came up with. And yeah, So that is the other thing that I'm working on. And those two actually do have time constraints. So I want to get those done because the people are planning on those, and they have deadlines. And the knife has been sitting around for almost a year now, and I really need to get it done. But with the shop and the show and all of that, I was just not able to do it. So once those gets done, then we can start doing more things. I mentioned I was forging a sword. That is the rough forged sword. The tang actually broke off because I overheated it, so I need to re-weld a new tang on there. And then I need to finish out profiling the blade because it has a little bit of distal taper on it, but not a huge distal taper. I definitely want to put more of it. And then I have to work on the bevels. But this is 5160. This is actual purchase steel, unlike some of the other knives, because I was planning on abusing the crap out of that one. It didn't happen. I wasn't able to get it done in time for the show, so I had to go with my second option. But that one was designed to be completely abused. If you've watched Knife or Death, then you kind of understand the type of abuse that they put those weapons through, and they're putting them through things that they were never designed to. I mean, let's face it. An axe is designed to cut wood. A knife is not. Neither is a sword. Ice weapons are not designed to cut ice. That's what ice picks are for. But that's the whole idea behind the courses: is can you take your weapon above and beyond what it was designed to do, and can you do it in the appropriate time frame? And it was actually quite fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I would totally do it again in a heartbeat. God, that was one of the most funs I've ever had. However, I will tell you, Atlanta in the summer, you have to chew their air. It is way too much oxygen and water combined in one space for an individual to breathe. And I come from Colorado. We're not used to that much oxygen. It's not right. So yeah, that's kind of an update. So let me give you kind of an overview on what I've done in here. Kind of give you a pan around. So, so looking over here, we have the door to our shop. There's the grinder. You've actually seen those because I've worked with those to make the hammer. There's the apron that I usually wear. This is where all my electricity comes in. There's my drill press. There is my workbench, which is kind of where everything happens. Welder. That is the forge area. Where's my finger? There it is. That right there is my tiny propane forge. This, of course, is my coal forge. I'm not going to be able to do coal in here very much. Dust goes everywhere, and I really don't have the funds to build the proper chimney right now. So you see my storage thing, long piece of poplar. I need to find a better place for wood. And there you can see the door into the other half of the shed. That was actually just put in. So you can see over here, this is kind of a step up. This is the roof right here. So I just did these. This one right here was a pre-built and was already existing. And then this one was the one that I actually had put on the concrete slab. So that was actually one of my major goals, is to get there. Now, none of this has electricity at all. And there we have anvil, and we have the big garage door. Of course, there's a 2x4 in front of. The joys of being in the middle of construction. And of course, you see the treadle hammer. And one of the things that I just did, if you see those bolts sticking out, I just anchored those bolts. And coincidentally, you'll see my lathe. My lathe is going to go right next to it. I need to actually build the bed for my lathe. So you'll be able to see that. So there we have it. that's my shop, and directly behind the camera is another shelf that has most of the tools. I have a beam that's running across there, which is not put up yet. It's just a raw piece of wood just kind of floating up there. Hopefully it doesn't fall down. I have a shelf on that side and a shelf on that side. You saw the one over there that runs a little bit above, allows me to get some of the things out of my way that I'm not going to use very often. But yeah, this is where we go. We've got lots of things planned, lots of things that I want to do, and I plan on taking you guys along the journey. You know, my testing area is going to be completely on the other side of the yard, so I won't show you that right now. But we're gonna break some stuff. You know, and again, if I don't have a specific plan for it, like the sword, like the knife over here, if there's not a purchaser out there for it, I'm gonna beat the ever-loving piss out of it. And if it breaks, meh, it broke. If it doesn't break, then obviously I'll put it up for sale and someone can buy it, test it, and you know, if it bends, obviously I may put it up for sale as is, but considerably cheaper. But yeah, no, I mean, I have lots and lots of stuff planned. It's just, you know, time and getting everything together. And I do have a full-time job. I'm a teacher currently transitioning into something else because teaching doesn't pay. And I have a 2-year-old. That doesn't give me a whole lot of time. But I'm going to use it to the best of my ability, and hopefully subscribers will grow. And the more money that I get from YouTube, the more, you know, time I can devote to videos. And right now I get nothing, and I don't expect anything. I'm a firm believer of this should be free. I watched a lot of YouTube videos before I started doing much of anything, and I had zero intention of putting anything behind a paywall. The only thing that my Patreon is designed to do is that those of you who really like me can see a lot of the longer videos on Patreon. I have no intentions of putting, I mean, it won't have any real more content. It'll just have a lot more of me blathering at the camera. So all of the actual me doing stuff will always be free. I will never actually put that behind a paywall because I don't believe in it. But yeah, leave your comments. Tell me what you think. You know, hopefully things will go on. As I said, if I get enough Patreon people, I do actually plan on auctioning something off. Or not say auctioning, but giving a drawing. And it may be this. It may be a sword. It may be a set of gauntlets, which is on the list of things to make. I don't know. Whatever happens, I don't actually expect to get any kind of Patreon people for any length of time, so I haven't put a whole lot of thought into what it's going to be. So you guys can surprise me, you know. I suddenly get a flood of Patreon people, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to actually make something to give away. But still, such things happen, you know. Stay safe, be well. I haven't actually developed any kind of YouTube sign-off yet, but yeah, hope you guys have fun. Hope you enjoy the show.